Well, then you moved on to Steven Spielberg, embraced your talents, and brought you in to do Poltergeist. And that had to be an interesting experience, and that's where we met, actually. I was doing publicity on Poltergeist while you were shooting.
That's right. You were the only recognizable face, except for Beatrice Straight. You know, known you from the Z Channel. Here's the movie star.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you were, you know.
Well, and here I am 30 years later doing the same thing. But it was so amazing to me to see a guy who had made a name for himself doing this real go-for-the-throat horror, independent horror movie, being embraced by the studio system that is allergic to that kind of film. And yet, here comes Steven Spielberg, the most powerful guy at the time, embracing you and your talent and trusting you to partner with him to make this movie.
Steven loved Chainsaw.
Yeah, well, it's obvious. It's obvious.
That was a technical experience. Well, you were there, you saw.
Yeah.
I mean, we had spinning rooms.
Yeah, I watched that. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was.
An entire set of a room that would be on a sort of turning gurney so that everything got sucked into the closet.
And then pulled the little girl's bedroom out and put the parents' bedroom in for Joe Beth to go up the wall.
Right.
Around the ceiling. And there was a luxury to that, though. It was the first like 90-day schedule.
Wow, 90 days for one movie.
One of the most fun scenes that I had, the most fun I had in that was doing one shot that is more like a magic trick than a special effect. And it's where the chairs stack up on the table.
Oh, yeah. So how'd you do it?
Oh, okay, well, okay, so...
Camera's on the kitchen table. Everybody's there.
Right, okay, so Joe Beth picks Heather up and puts her on a part of the kitchen sink. And the chairs are spread out around the table. And then she goes over to get the 409 bottle. And so there is a pre-constructed stack of chairs with two guys, two special effects men, right beside the camera. And then there were 6 other effects people waiting in closets underneath the counter. And so started shooting, and it took 4 seconds for everyone to pull the chairs out, run into other rooms. So 2 guys come out and put the assembled stack on the table and then make a dash out the back way.
It's a misdirection, classic magician's trick. So you pan off of that, you go with her, whoop, go back, and then come back, and everything's all in place without a cut.
And dailies, it sounded like a cattle stampede. I mean, it was like, turn the sound down because it...
Now, you must have learned a lot from the studio experience and from the Spielberg experience.
Oh, I learned a lot about... I learned everything I knew about special effects or everything. I mean, that was my introduction into ILM.
Yeah.
And also just a look and a behavior and the characters that go along with a film like this that is a mainstream film that is measured than I was used to.
You were used to screaming.
To frantic.
Yeah.
Behavior.
Gentle middle-class family taken, the Norman Rockwell household taken to hell.
And they're seeing that it's real. And that it's really, and of course it's undeniably real when we hear the girl's voice come out of the TV.
You have had experiences of your own with the other side, with ghosts, right?
Well, yes, actually I have.
Yeah. Anything
Yes.
you want to share?
Yeah, well, I experienced a poltergeist.
What happened?
Well, this was shortly after my dad passed away, like 2 weeks, something like that. But the classic situation of water glasses exploding in the kitchen, and plates, things from Carlsbad Cavern, things like that, and I could hear them crash in the night. And they would be in a pile in the middle of the room, so they had somehow propelled themselves away from the walls. But the doors opening, my mother hearing his rocking chair all night and my hearing it, and she thought it was me and I thought it was her. And I don't know, it seemed like poltergeist activity. then I leased a house not too long ago, like 10 years ago or so. And moving into the house, my son saw a man. He can't describe what the man looks like, but he ran, and my son chased him, thinking it was someone.
Prowler, huh?
And he went into the other room where it was a cold room, and there was nothing there. And then I was running to answer the front door. I left the bedroom and ran down a hall and went around a corner, and I walked through a shadow. I didn't see it until I was in it. Mm-hmm. And I saw this outline in my peripheral vision. And then I invited friends over.
Yeah, come see the ghost.
And they saw it. I don't know. I mean, I experienced these things.
Mm-hmm. Did it scare you?
No, it didn't.
Would you like to see a ghost?
Yeah, absolutely. I would pay to see a ghost. I mean, I didn't feel fear, but I did get creeped. I did get the heavy creeps.
What does scare you? What, in movies or theory?
Well, the thing that really scares me now is the state of affairs in the world. Well, there's something I don't want to talk about on the show because it's something that you and I are working on.
Okay.
That is the scariest thing. It's the real things that can happen.
Well, let's talk about the tools of filmmaking and how they've changed over the years. It used to be that a low-budget independent horror film was scruffy and gritty, and it was whatever you could get your hands on. But the tools now of digital filmmaking have become so accessible and affordable that you can do so much more on your Mac.
Yeah.
How do you think that has opened up the world of storytelling?
It should open the world of storytelling. I think there should be more storytelling. I understand we live in a world of watching a movie and texting at the same time.
Right.
And Transformers is a kind of film that seems to transcend.
It's made for
barrier.
texting.
It is, yeah. I mean, and it's so fast that if you miss one gag, it's okay because in 2 seconds there will be one that's even bigger.
Yeah.
And but I think we can still get back to story that's needed.
So it's not about the big effects so much, not about the explosions around the house, but the people who live in the house.
Yeah, and there's really no reason that we can't cheat, backdoor some good storytelling into this new world and age of technology that I love, by the way. I'm not putting down technology or CGI or digital filmmaking.
But there's always been
a miracle.
There have always been technological breakthroughs in making films, but it always comes back to the story being told. That story sitting around the campfire being told is what captivates us, not the whiz-bang. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about something you have some experience with, sequels and remakes. You did the sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I think is a masterpiece, one of the great sequels, especially in the horror genre of all time. Your name is on the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I don't know how involved you were in that. Just the whole idea of, should we do it?
Well, it's being done, and I think we should get beyond it.
Mm-hmm.
It
seems lazy.
Yeah, well, I think perhaps one of us should rewrite Great Expectations.
That's
that would
right.
be. And so I don't know. I just think we're going through something that at some point, now and again, something will get through that remake thing. There's a lot of material out there.
A lot of material on a lot of platforms, which brings up one other thing I'd love to touch on. You've done a lot of work in theatrical films as well as extensive work in television. From Salem's Lot on, you did The Others, you did Masters of Horror, you did Tales from the Crypt, all of these things in between the movies you've done. Is there a different approach to you?
Well, certainly not between a theatrical motion picture and Masters of Horror. That in fact, the two Masters of Horror I did. It was like making Chainsaw. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm very proud of that work.
They're great films.
And that was a great experience. Anyway,
You made it a
that's
great
right.
experience. We've worked on several different shows at the same time and apart, from Freddy's Nightmares onwards,
Yeah.
and it's just always been so much fun, because usually we'll be back to back. The Others was, you did one of the best episodes of The Others, which is a fantastic plane crash ghost story once again. And is it the tale of ghosts that draws you most in the genre?
I don't know that it seems to come to me. I don't know that, I don't know if it's the tail wagging the dog or, and these things seem to hunt me down.
So
I mean, I don't know. That's an incredible generality.
no, but it's a good one. If you were given your choice, someone came up to you and said, take your choice of any genre here. You've got a budget for whatever you want to do. You can do an opera, you can do a play, you can do a western, you can do a thriller, you can do, a period romantic drama. What would you like to try?
Oh, of course I would want to do something that I haven't done.
Yeah.
But, I don't think that would be expected.
But that's the whole idea. What would you most like to try? Would it be a western?
No, it would not be a western. It may be something like Dickens, like Dr. Zhivago. That would be a wonderful area to go into.
Love to see what you do with that.
That I would love that.
Well, thanks so much for sharing your time with us on Postmortem, Tobe Hooper.
Thank you, Mick.
All right, man.
Thank you.